Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday the 18th of March 2025. This is the car park for Hoblers Bridge Reserve, and I'm telling you about that now because of what I'll go on to. And I want you to take a moment at the start here to notice the size of this car park. There is some parking, but not oodles of it. Now, Hoblers Bridge is in the southeastern suburbs of Launceston, the eastern edge, the suburb of Newstead. The Hoblers Bridge is just through the trees over there on the right. You might recall me talking about that when I did my bridges run through Launceston. I'm not here to talk about bridges today. This is the southern end of the North-esque Trail, which, if you follow it through, comes out of Henry Street. And I've run this trail a few times, the bridges run and the North-esque run. It's just a few other times that I've done it. But I'm here because Launceston has its newest parkrun. Last Saturday was the first official running of the Hoblers Bridge Reserve parkrun, and they had 150 people, which was pretty good for a startup, and that's why I mentioned the car park. It's probably not going to accommodate hundreds more runners, so if you were thinking of coming here, you'd probably need to come early. Now, the course is a gravel course, mud, as you can see, firm packed earth and so on. And this little turn off here, I think, has something to do with that at the end. I won't be coming back to it, but because I'm just going to go straight through. So you'll get the view of the outward bound lap here. So to get back to getting this park run off the ground, there were previously three park runs in Launceston, the oldest of which was the Launceston park run, which I've done a few times. There was Windsor Precinct up at Riverside, which I go to most of the time, and Kate Reid Reserve, which I haven't run. And recently, the Launceston Park Run celebrated its 600th event, and I went that day, and I think there were close to 600 runners. So you can imagine any event, there are 600 people at the starting line, all champing at the bit, ready, set, go, and the path is on top of the North-esque levee, and it's a made path, but it's not quite as wide as this, and you've got people stretched across it running, you've got strollers, you've got dogs, all capabilities. The beginning can be a bit frenetic, and then corralling all those people at the end, you get them to get their barcode, their finish token, go and get it scanned and so on, requires a lot of volunteers. And so I think in part to take a bit of the pressure off Launceston Parkrun, but also to have another option, we decided to start this one here at Hoblers Bridge Reserve. Morning. Now, I don't suppose you just wake up one day and say, let's do a park run, or let's start a park run. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that would have to go on. I've had nothing to do with that, and I don't know any of the people who have been behind it, but I imagine there's a fair bit of work. Although park run is a free activity, and at your local event is all run by volunteers, there is a governing body in the UK, and I'm sure they have an Australian arm as well, but the governing body sets out the rules, and the rules are universal, so that, for example, your course has to be 5 kilometres. It has to be measured and shown to be 5 kilometres, not just 4.99, but exactly 5 kilometres. there is an agreed starting time, which for all park runs in Tasmania, with the exception of one, is 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. There are agreed starting and finishing procedures and so forth. And now imagine that the parkrun people or the Australian representative has to come out and look at your course and make sure it's free of dangerous hazards and relatively safe to run. Now, everybody runs at their own risk, of course, but you don't want a course where there's trees falling down over it, you've got to hurdle over or something like that. And although I don't know the rules, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to cross public roads. You can run on footpaths that go beside public roads, but you're pretty sure you wouldn't be allowed to cross public roads. So I imagine there was a fair bit of back and forth between the people who wanted to organise this event and the parkrun people before they got the seal of approval, and then they got flags, finish tokens, volunteer vests, defib machine, and so forth. And everybody that was involved did the appropriate training. And then there's also the local council, in this case the Launceston City Council, that is responsible for this trail. It's public land, and so you would need their approval. They would need to know what your event was, when your event was, all that sort of stuff. Now, that's where the car park issue comes in, because they want to be sure that people coming to parkrun weren't going to park in people's driveways or across their driveways and block their access. They might be concerned about potential noise. There are no toilets here, no drinking facilities, so that might be an issue that at least have to be discussed. So the people who wanted to get this event off the ground had to do a lot of behind the scenes work that, unless you were one of those, you probably don't know much about, like me, and you just turn up on a Saturday and away you go and do your thing and run. So congratulations to the people who got it going. Congratulations on your first event, where, as I said, I think 150 people attended, and I hope that's a regular number for you, or even more. Take a little bit of pressure off the Launceston one, as everybody that's involved in parkrun knows it only succeeds because of the volunteers. So if you're able to volunteer, even only occasionally, everybody connected with the event will be very grateful. So if you live in Elphin and Newstead, maybe even Waverley, Ravenswood, or you just feel like a change of scenery for your parkrun, Hoblers Bridge Reserve parkrun off Hoblers Bridge Road, which is off Elphin Road. Your Google Maps or whatever you use will direct you there pretty quickly. Saturday mornings, 9 o'clock, and you get to run on this course here. You go out towards Henry Street, turn around and go back again, and then, as I said, there's a little loop which I assume, I don't know for certain, but I assume would be at the finish. Now the only variation to the course is this plastic bit of boardwalk here, allows the river to flow under, and extremely high tides flow across. It's about 100 metres long, maybe not that long, but no more than that. Very safe and sound, solid, no trip hazards or things like that. gets run through the reeds and scrub here. I just keep going until we get to the where I imagine to be the turnaround point at Henry Street, and then obviously you turn around and go back. I'm not going to, I'm just going to keep going on my own planned route. So, as I said, congratulations to everybody involved in getting this event up and running. I hope each Saturday is a big success for you, and if you're a park runner at one of the other events in Lonnie, come and support the Hoblers Bridge people. And if you're coming from interstate or even overseas and you're thinking, are there any park runs in Lonnie? There are 4 now, and I'm sure the people here would welcome you just like all the other events would. The river over on my right there, by the way, is the North Esk River. I should have said at the start of this video, it's the 18th of March, it was about 7 o'clock I think when I started filming. Didn't film before that because it was dark, you wouldn't have seen anything. In any case, I only wanted to tell you about this Hoblers Bridge parkrun course. And I think I mentioned this in my bridges run recently. This is the railway that goes out to Bell Bay on the east coast, or on the eastern side of the Tamar, should I say. As with all park runs, there are people who go out as part of the volunteers on a Saturday morning before the event and just check the course and remove any, potentially dangerous hazards like tree branches and so on. Hoblers Bridge Reserve parkrun, they have a Facebook page and their own website, and if you go there you'll find a course and you'll find directions about how to get here and so forth. You can see we're coming up to the Henry Street Bridge, so we're almost at the end of the first leg, where I expect you would find a marshal or a volunteer with a volunteer's vest on to direct you at the turnaround point. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the commentary and it encourages you to come out and support the Hoblers Bridge Reserve parkrun and have a comment, leave it in the appropriate place, and when I become aware of it I will respond. As always, if you'd like to share and subscribe and so forth, I'm very happy for you to do so. This, I imagine, would be the turnaround point, so if you were really keen and concerned about parking, you could park here and take a light run, which I think is about 2 k's to the other end of the trail where the event starts, and that could be your warm-up. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you when I'm making the next running video.